Hi everyone, Marian here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a bit of a different video for you guys. We live in the Washington, D.C. area, so we are lucky enough to explore all the D.C. sites that our nation has to offer, and I thought it would be a great idea to start making some videos of insider tips, hacks, and tricks to traveling to these locations with your kids. So the first one I have for you is the Smithsonian National Zoo. We visited there in May with my toddler son and newborn son, and I wanted to share with you guys all the hacks and tips and tricks I have for visiting the National Zoo with kids. The first thing to know about the Smithsonian Zoo is that it's a very narrow park and it runs up along a hill. So there's one main path that goes all the way to the top and then a side path that goes almost all the way to the bottom. Which brings me to my tip number 2, park at the bottom. You definitely want to be walking up the giant hill when you first arrive and have all your energy rather than on the way out when you're exhausted and tired and just trying to get back to your car. I highly recommend parking in lot number D. It is $25 to park at the zoo unless you have a membership, but it's definitely worth it if you have young kids or want the easiest way to get in and out of the zoo. If you prefer not to pay the $25, there is street parking available around the zoo if you get there early enough, but you can't really count on it, especially on a busy day where there's lots of other attractions nearby that draw crowds. So this is what it looks like if you park in lot D and walk up to the main entrance at the bottom of the zoo. If you don't want to drive at all, you can take the metro and exit at the Smithsonian Zoo exit on the red line, or you could take an Uber or a Lyft, or if you don't have kids with you, you can rent a bicycle. Right as we walked in, we saw these electric ones right by the entrance. Another top tip is that you can rent a stroller at the zoo. Here's what they look like. They're just that hard plastic material, similar to the ones you can rent at Disneyland, but they're great if you have older kids who don't normally need a stroller, but would like one for lots of walking around the zoo. So the reason I really recommend to park at the bottom of the zoo in lot D is because I think it's best to start at the petting zoo, which is at the very bottom of the zoo. This place is perfect for young kids who really want to get up close with the animals. You can't actually feed the animals at the Smithsonian Zoo, but you can get really close to them and often they'll come over and say hello. And the petting zoo area has goats, donkeys, pigs. There's lots of little nooks and crannies in the barn to get into. So definitely take your little ones here first when you first get to the zoo and get there before it gets too crowded. In general, like any place with kids, it's best to get there right when it's open before all the crowds come and before the hottest time of the day. My next tip for you is that there are actually a few playgrounds at the zoo. This is the largest one located right next to the petting zoo area, and there's another one next to the beavers, which is just a short walk up from the petting zoo area. These are great spots for your kids to run around, let off some steam, and just have a break from the crowds and have a chance to just play and be silly. My son absolutely loves them. My next tip is to look out for fun photo opportunities. There's a few of these along the way as you're walking and they make for great pictures. There's also an opportunity to take pictures at the panda exhibit. They have a green screen background and they're really cute photos that come out. They are quite expensive. I think they start at about $25, but it is a donation to the zoo. The next tip I have for you is if you want to see the big cats, you should know that they're all located in a big circle. You can enter the circle a few different areas, but if you see a lion or a tiger and are looking for the other, just keep going around the circle and you're likely to see them. Also, if one of the cats isn't out there, it doesn't mean that the others won't be, so keep going around that circle. You're very likely to see some more cats if you just keep walking. What? The next tip I have for you is all about the apes. Across the top of the zoo, you'll see these giant ropes. The apes are actually free to go on them, but if you want to catch them doing it, it really only happens really early in the morning or in the evenings at dusk. There is an awesome area where the monkeys are studied and you can catch them doing all kinds of mental tricks. So definitely check out the times on the zoo website to see when this is going to be happening. The next tip I have for you is where to find the air conditioning. So there's a few different places in the zoo that are inside and provide a nice shelter if it's raining or if it's too hot. The first one is the panda exhibit, although this one can get really crowded. The next one is the sea lions, and also the reptile house and the ape house all have a little bit of a break and shelter if the weather outside is not great. The next tip I have for you is eating. There's 2 main cafes in the zoo, and there's also food trucks all along the route. If you want to try out something different than the usual pizza and chicken nuggets fare, definitely hit up one of the food trucks. The other tip I have for you is you can actually bring your own food, and there's a few nice picnic areas that you can sit at. You go towards where the elephants are. There's a path with tables and chairs there as well.
But the pandas eat chicken?
So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up so I know you'd like to see more. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!